Hello and welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 19th November 2019. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Peddlers Marketing, the digital marketing agency that helps small businesses go digital. My name is Sean.
And I'm JK.
This week's news: Facebook's experimental division churns out apps. Twitter cracks down on deepfakes. Snapchat releases Spectacle 3, not expecting high sales though. Instagram tests TikTok competitor, but only in Brazil. iPhone's Facebook app quietly opens camera and Facebook confirmed it. Facebook's payment platform is up and it's called Facebook Pay, not FacePay.
Cannot get loyalty.
Facebook brings Instagram features to its mothership. Google Maps adds social element and TikTok explores music streaming. Back to the stories. Facebook's experimental division churns out apps. Last July, we reported that Facebook opened up an experimental division called NPE Team. This team's job was to build experimental apps that are focused on students, chat, and music. Then we reported that the division hired former Vine GM Jason Toff to lead the team. And last week, 2 apps were released into the wild. One is called Bump, which is a chat app that aims to connect people through conversations and not appearances. The second one is Aux, AUX, an app that makes music listening a social thing. Similar to an old app called Turntable.fm that shut down in 2013, Aux is a virtual DJ platform where people curate music instead of algorithm.
Okay.
But instead of competing with Spotify that also use people to generate playlists, it takes on a different spin. It says here, school-age students will join the party every night at 9 p.m., then choose the song they want to play. They will compete for the aux to get their song played first. At the end of the night, the winner is chosen based on how many claps they got. So I'm assuming here is that they go into a channel or a group, like a chat room, and then maybe a group of 10 to 20 people will get to choose one song, and the song that gets the most claps will be played first.
All right, got it.
And then after 20 songs is gone, then they will go on the next cycle and the next and the next and the next. And at the very end of the night, the song that the user or the person that has the most claps on their songs will win something. I don't know.
Win something. I probably top three rank list.
Yeah,
something
maybe.
like that.
Yeah,
Maybe. Self-made top pop song on 2019.
yeah,
December
maybe.
kind of thing.
Or they will get a special MVP style or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But this is quite interesting though, because I'm just figuring this is just the first phase where they just want to test out the procedure, how things work.
Yeah.
But once it gets pulled off, probably the next level they can play with is, instead of playlist, it's actually their own covers. They will sing their own cover and then
Perhaps, yeah.
It's like a live band singing.
Yeah.
But instead it's social media online.
Perhaps, yeah, that could work. But the thing here is that there are two major elements here, right? Number one is that humans are the ones that curate the playlist.
Correct.
They will get to choose what song goes into the playlist, not algorithms. And the second thing is they need to choose the song that other people in the group will want to listen to.
Oh, okay.
Then they will give claps.
I see.
So let's say if I put my own song up there and nobody knows what it is and nobody votes for that song, a clap is probably a vote.
Correct. Like a like that.
Yeah, like a like. So the more likes you get, the higher chance it will be played first.
Understand.
And then maybe then what Facebook does is that they will actually save that playlist and they put somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe every night there is a theme, like disco theme,
correct.
or hip hop theme or something.
Correct. Or maybe they can just sing they sing the style of the song. Like for instance.
Yeah, like
perfect. Then
like
perfect.
There can also be like the best covers.
The best covers.
Yeah.
Then I will sing like perfect, and then I want to be alone kind of thing.
Well, that makes sense. And the other app called Bump, we don't have a lot of information about that. It's just that it's just essentially a chat app, and it says here that it connects people through conversation, not appearances. So probably you just get like topics like Reddit or Quora or something where people talk about stuff, and then you just comment on it and be social.
While we are trying to advance towards more advanced social media, this one is trying to Go back
Go
to a
back to the
Morse code.
Yeah, the key here, I think, is in the experimental part of it. I think what Facebook is planning to do is that they are just throwing things out there
and see who
and
picks it up.
see
right?
what works and what doesn't work. And
Yeah.
if it works, it may you see, Facebook say that these apps may never see global adoption or any adoption at all. There is a chance that these apps will become standalone apps, or there is also a chance that the features in the apps will be included into their greater apps like Instagram and Facebook instead of having a standalone.
So it's like a test
app.
round.
But yeah, it's kind of like
Indicate
very
testing,
experimental
testing.
testing thing.
All right, you have plenty of money. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. So the reason why we've never heard of these apps is because they are usually released in smaller markets like the US and Canada for testing purposes only.
Mhm. Correct.
And even in the US, they will usually either put it in Japan or Seoul or
more
Bangkok or something.
tech-advanced
Yeah, more tech
country.
advanced or more trend forward market rather than Malaysia, because we are not very trend forward.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not in the meantime. Alright, next up, Twitter starts cracking down on deepfakes. Deepfakes are fake videos and images that are made by software to look like someone else. And it's a scary software because now you cannot even believe the videos you see on the internet. Twitter just released a policy to fight this content. They released a draft of the policy for public feedback before going live. If it sees media that is synthetic or manipulated with the intention of misleading people, it will do one or more of the following. First, place a notice next to the tweets that share synthetic or manipulated media. Second, warn people before kepanasan orang.
It's an N. not a-
Warn people before they share or like tweets with synthetic or manipulated media. Or thirdly, add a link, for example, to a news article or Twitter moment, so that people can read more about why various sources believe the media is synthetic or manipulated. At the moment, there are no mention of outright banning this content. Yeah.
So just to get all the readers on the same page with what deep fake is actually an AI powered software that actually
Augment your face.
Yes,
into
that
the
actually
one, right? Yeah, I see it
that
before.
synthetically create a person, and it's able to also synthetically create a voice that sounds like the person. There was a very famous video of Mark Zuckerberg
Uh-huh.
speaking about something, and it is not intended to pass off or manipulate people to think that it is Mark Zuckerberg. It is just like a testing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they
test
tell you
phase.
that it is fake, but
All right.
you can't tell the difference because he looks exactly like Mark Zuckerberg and
Yeah.
he sounds exactly like Mark Zuckerberg. And the way he speaks is exactly the same as well. So Twitter is the first social media platform that come out with policy. They're not outright banning it, but they're just like putting warnings all over the place,
Telling
and
you,
telling you that
this
there is a chance that it's not real.
But how do they know? Through the app, is it or what?
I guess they have an app. They many
Can't
companies have
detect
been developing apps to detect deepfakes because apps can see these things more than our common eye sometimes.
Oh yeah, okay. It's too perfect to be real.
Yeah, maybe there's certain like discrepancies or certain errors that we can't see, but
Mhm.
the
But the
algorithms
algorithm.
and AIs can see. Yeah,
Okay. Well,
these are the things.
that puts AI in a advantage rather than us. In
Yeah.
another way to spot for all these mistakes.
Like they
next
say,
time.
right? If you want to fight AI, you have to get
You
AI.
need AI. Yeah, you want to fight human, you need human. So
and this goes to say that moving forward, right, as social media users and consumers of content online, we need to be careful. Like you know, last time there used to be a saying that picture or it didn't happen at all,
Yeah,
video or
correct.
it didn't happen at all.
now
You can't
no.
use that statement anymore. Even with picture and video, you don't even know whether it's real or not.
Exactly. I mean, like, have you seen one of our friend Theo? He posted like the what you call it? It's a China ad whereby he augment his face into the.
Oh really?
the-
No.
yeah, it's so funny.
But does it look very real? Like
Exactly like.
oh my god. Yeah, this is
So you'll be surprised how cool it is. You know,
this is
like,
how scary it is,
yeah,
right?
and how
Yeah.
misleading you can make it be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, this kind of thing is just.
I remember a long time ago there was a Doraemon episode
Uh huh.
where you know how Sinyu always gets to travel because the parents are rich,
Yep,
right?
correct.
And he would bring the other guys over, but they don't want to bring Nobita over, right?
Okay,
Because they
alright.
just don't like him. And Nobita, like, cries
I
to
cannot
Doraemon, yeah,
go.
because he can't go to these places. So what Doraemon came up with was actually with like a camera
Uh-huh.
that is able to take two pictures and stitch them together. So it seems as if Nobita is traveling all around the world, to Paris, somewhere in Europe and everything.
Oh my god.
And then initially it was believable until he went to the extent where he will go under sea, go under into the sea, the deep sea, and he will dress this like just with t-shirt and shorts. He will go into the North Pole, dress t-shirt and shorts, and he will go to the moon with also t-shirt and shorts. then then the friends actually caught up to his lie, and how can you be wearing this
in the
in
sea,
the sea and in space and everything?
Well, Nobita is not exactly a good character to
Not a good
to
role
learn
model.
from.
Yeah. Next up, Snapchat releases Spectacles 3, not expecting high sales though. For starters, it's a $380 pair of normal spectacles with two cameras. No augmented reality happening on the shades either. Everything goes to the phone. It's just camera shooting everything into the phone, and the phone is the one that applies augmented reality. The company doesn't expect to sell many of these spectacles. Instead, they hope to obtain data from users and hope to be able to scale to a version that will eventually be mass market.
Beta testing.
Yeah, they just beta
paid
testing.
guinea pigs.
Paid guinea pigs. It's very expensive, only for people who are
Can
like
afford it.
hyper influencers kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
The question here is that with all the money they're losing on a monthly basis, right? They're actually losing a few $100 million monthly.
Monthly basis.
Yeah, on a monthly basis. Even though there are certain quarters that they see that they are growing in a sense that they're losing less money, not that they are
growing in loss.
Yeah, like shrinking in losses.
Okay.
So it is actually hard to imagine how they can still think of making products like these. I mean,
unless they have connection that they have very well stable investors ready to pump in money for the next phase.
Not exactly. I mean, it's like, okay, this is how Snapchat works, right? Snapchat is run by Evan Spiegel, a lone CEO who does not have to answer to board of directors.
Okay, he's standalone.
There are shareholders, but the shareholders has no voting rights, has no executive decision making right. So he makes all the decisions,
it's easier,
which is a problem because then he has no check and balance. He has no one to answer to when it comes to making the right decisions for the company.
Yeah, correct. In terms of, there's no argument during the board to make sure that there's
no
objective.
Argument. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but okay. Another point would be like that. Even though with this kind of management, there are still investors hopping onto his board.
Yep.
So can't deny that he's influencing power in terms of investment.
It's either that or these venture capitalists is actually holding on to, they're biting on any social media company there is. They're playing on the chance that there is a 50-50 chance that this Snapchat will turn around and make it big, and 50-50 chance that they would actually die a fiery death. But how many social media companies is it out there, right? TikTok,
they have all the money to play.
TikTok is not available. TikTok shares is all taken by the Chinese, right? And there isn't any more social media with half the price and half the growth opportunity of Facebook, because Facebook is way too expensive.
Yep, correct.
Instagram is way too expensive. Yep. Everything that is in there now that is working is way too expensive.
It's already passed already.
Right, exactly. So we have one, which is Snapchat, which is the growing one, but there is a chance that it might not work. There's a chance that it might work. So investors are maybe in here because of this idea that social media, it is the one social media that may work. Or it could be the idea that they see something in Snapchat that we don't see.
Or they just find casino is just too small of a skill to gamble.
Perhaps.
Like, let's play let's play a big one. Snapchat, do or die.
Yeah.
Wow, you name it. Alright, next up, ad. This episode of Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Chop Tiang Bee Cafe at the heart of Melaka, Malaysia. Chop Tiang Bee serves authentic Nyonya and fusion cuisine and is located at Jonker Street, just 5 minutes walk from the famous Red Square, and A Formosa in Melaka City. Their most iconic dishes include the Kari Laksa and Nasi Lemak. Also, equally impressive are their range of homemade cakes like carrot cake, which uses pineapples instead of raisins, and the Onde Onde cheesecake, which is a must try. So if you're heading to Japtiangbi, be sure to get 10% off of your entire receipt with promo code CTB10. That's CTB10.
Japtiangbi is amazing. Next up, Instagram tests TikTok competitor, but only in Brazil. The people at Facebook may not know what exactly TikTok is, but that isn't preventing them from coming up with a competitor. It's called Reels, and it let us make 15-second clips with a wide catalog of music, kind of like what TikTok essentially is on the technical level, right? At the moment, they're testing it only in Brazil and only on Android. We don't know why it's in Brazil. Why is it of all the markets, I don't understand why they tested in Brazil.
I don't know either.
It is not one of the biggest markets on TikTok.
It's not common for Brazilian to play TikTok either. Yeah. It's not even like generic talked about it.
I would think if you put it in the Southeast Asia, it would be a bigger market because more Southeast Asians are on TikTok than Brazilians are on TikTok. More than Americans and Europeans all combined. There are a lot more Southeast Asians on TikTok. So anyway, the main advantage of TikTok has always been the wider selection of music we can use, right? Although they're like 15 to 30 second music, the fact that we can use music to lay it onto our videos and not having the geographic licensing issue, like this country you can use this music, that country you can't use that music. So everything is available everywhere. But what truly sets TikTok apart from Instagram and Reels could be more than just that. Yeah. It is the fact that the users and the community has been able to create
really good content.
Really good curated and planned content.
Correct.
But I think what Instagram is trying to do is it's trying to tell people, hey, you already have content that you post on TikTok. Why not also cross-post on Instagram as well?
Correct.
On Reels as well.
Yep.
I don't know how well this would go, but well, a try is better than no try at all.
I don't know. Or maybe they're just like, hey, you have your Chinese market, we have our Western market. Let's let the Western and Asian battle.
Maybe.
The TikTok battle Reels.
Perhaps.
Dare. Maybe that's why in Brazil.
Yeah.
Dare.
Now it's starting to make sense, right?
All right. Next up, iPhone's Facebook app quietly opens camera and Facebook confirmed it. There has been a number of tweets showing how Facebook app activating the phone camera without permission of knowledge of user. In these videos, people were on Facebook app, they will rotate the screen, and for a brief moment when the buggy transition happens, they could see the camera activated behind the scenes. According to Facebook, this appeared to be just a bug, but because it's from Facebook, everyone immediately assumes the worst.
And okay, you see, I checked out all the videos with all the rotations, right? There is a little brief moment when like the UI kind of doesn't really fit the screen when it rotates at time. It like there's a moment where it doesn't fit, and then the UI kind of like there's an error where it like kind of it's stuck in a corner a bit, and there's this little corner where you can actually see the back, like the camera activated, and this person actually waved the hand behind, and they could see the hand.
Oh my god! Okay.
So they say that this could be one of those, Facebook stories features where kind of like Instagram story and Facebook story, when you trigger the stories, it automatically opens the camera.
Okay.
But some videos are of people watching Facebook Watch, and like when they watch Facebook Watch video on like portrait and they want to turn it around, right? They could see that the visual, the video kind of like went off grid a bit, and behind there was a camera that is being activated.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Bug it is. I hope it's not Zuckerbug.
It is a Zuckerbug.
We don't know.
From now on, every single privacy bug that is from Facebook is called a Zuckerbug.
Yep.
You heard it here first on Social Media Weekly.
Oh my god, it's a Zuckerbug.
And
I just came out with that.
So this is how it's gonna go, right? This week there is a new Zuckerbug in town.
new, kind of virus. It's called Zuckerberg.
Any kind of glitch that is on Facebook
It's
that has
Zuckerberg.
something to do with security, it's called a Zuckerberg.
My God. Right, next up. Facebook payment platform is up and it's called Facebook Pay. Since last year, we have been predicting Facebook's e-wallet name. Not FacePay, anyways.
Yeah, not FacePay.
Most of the time, we thought it would be called FacePay. Now it's the official. The name isn't even nearly as creative as ours. Wow. Facebook Pays.
No, you think about it, right? At least our name is a
Like
bit creative,
FacePay.
like FacePay. You know, it's cool. It
And you
rolls
pay with your face.
It
Your
rolls
face
exactly.
identity.
I know. It's like it rolls down your tongue, right? And it makes sense. But Facebook Pay is just Facebook
like
Pay.
the Facebook.
Yeah, it's like a Facebook.
Right. Anyways, this payment system will be integrated with Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp. It will be rolled out in the US first, then to the rest of the world eventually. The initial form of this function will work with all major payments platforms like Master, Visa, PayPal, and the likes. They were also careful to note that this is not the same as their controversial Libra currency.
So while on one side they are struggling to roll out Libra currency, they are
Mhm.
just going to move ahead with Facebook Pay first, and then they're going to accept all the current payment platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe depending on the country, they would also work with the local providers. Like let's say, for example,
Maybank QR Pay,
Maybank QR Pay or
WeChat.
Boost or WeChat or
Line,
Touch
Line
and
Pay.
Go or whatever it is. And then from there, once the adoption and usage is there, then they will quietly sneak in Libra
Like, oops,
and say, hey, we have a global currency now.
you can purchase
You
here.
can you can actually convert all your cash into this platform, and then from there.
When you have all the power in the world.
But I do hope that Facebook is able to do something that Apple and Android, Google were not able to do with their payment platforms. Actually, even people like Touch and Go and Boost and all are struggling in Malaysia today,
Mm-hmm.
which is to bring the micro businesses, the hawker stalls,
Okay,
the
people are-
hardware stores and everything, actually use these platforms.
Bit hard though. Because
It is difficult, but this is like the final mile, right? Because at the end of the day, right, the only place we can actually use all this payment is in shopping malls. And in Malaysia, at least, there are so many places to buy things than in shopping malls.
Yep.
And if we're outside shopping malls, we still need to use cash, right? So if that is the case, then we're always struggling between either using cash and using a payment system. And when you use a payment system, you have to reload first, then only you use it. So it becomes like a second thought. But imagine if payment system is accepted everywhere,
Yep, correct.
and there is one payment system that works with every other payment system out there,
When
which is
connection is available.
Yes.
Especially urban areas.
yes, it's like, for example, you can use all kinds of e-wallets in the world. It doesn't matter as long as it is done through Facebook Pay.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
Like-
like a central kind.
yeah, like a central. Then it becomes like, hey, this makes sense. It's not just one of the many e-wallets. It is the aggregator of e-wallets, the one that connects all the e-wallets
Yeah,
together.
correct. But that's what I mean. That's what the e-wallet wants to do right now, right? They're trying to connect every single merchants into that e-wallet.
They are connecting merchants, but they're not connecting
Haven't
each
yet.
other.
Yeah, correct.
They're competing with each other. So now we have
now.
like
Boost Pay, cashback,
exactly
QR Pay, green color,
so many
yellow
of them.
color,
Yeah, the
purple
green,
color,
blue, red, all
pink
kinds
color.
of
I don't know. So many stickers out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel very decision fatigue when I go to the
I
payment
know
counter.
exactly. And you see it in every single one of those checkout counters. There are so many QR
Yeah,
cards
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
And which is
Like,
which
leave
now?
me alone.
It's a bit too much.
Yeah. But
Anyway,
oh well.
if Facebook Pay is able to solve this problem, then maybe Facebook Pay will be good. Moving on,
Mhm.
Facebook brings Instagram features to its mothership. It's called Popular Photos, and it's essentially Facebook algorithmically selecting photos from friends and showing it to users. This sounds a lot like Instagram's Explore tab. It kind of is.
Mhm.
This move can be interpreted two ways. First is that Facebook is cannibalizing on its Instagram's features, signaling a possible internal
Struggle.
struggle. Or maybe they could just think that since Facebook and Instagram have different audiences, it wouldn't hurt Instagram to copy their entire system and put it in Facebook anyway. There's also a possibility that Facebook is looking for ways to move away from their text-heavy format, which they will try just about anything right now. They have been working very hard to phase out their, what is this called? Their newsfeed sections, and they want to put all the other stuff in, which they've been having a very hard time, and maybe this will help.
True.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see about it because it's just a feature to its mothership lah.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. Well,
right. Next up.
There
That's
is
okay.
there is a headline that I forgot just now.
It's okay, never mind.
Let's talk about this now.
Yep, it's TikToky. TikTok starts building e-commerce links. TikTok has always been a user-focused platform. This is why it's still able to maintain such a heavy organic engagement rate. But people at the company also understand what keeps influencers in the monetization, which is why TikTok recently added a function and lets users insert e-commerce link into their bios and videos. An example showed a video having a link that brings people to Amazon. That's cool.
So, for every social media, right, there's two parts of it. One is the user part and one is the brand's part, right? And users follow where the influencers are. And influencers are generally brands. They will create the content, and at the end of the day, after a while, they will need to start making money within the platform. If the platform does not support monetization for them, for influencers, they will eventually go elsewhere. So TikTok understands that this needs to happen. Before this, TikTok has always been about very organic growth and everything. But it has reached a point where it is now changing things around, adding new elements in there to support influencers. And building e-commerce links is one of the first things that they will do, that they are doing. So let's say, for example, someone like one of those influencers doing one of the videos. There was a video about him wearing this like a dinosaur suit and running around.
Yeah.
And there is actually a link that goes into an Amazon page
Amazon.
owned by that influencer, or maybe owned by the company that supplies the thing,
Okay.
that you can buy any dinosaur suit.
But you embed it, or TikTok will auto embed it?
You have to embed it yourself when you
Okay.
create the video. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So it's
But the
just
link
adding-
is in the form of a button.
okay.
Yeah.
At least it's not so like it's not like we like used to copy paste links into Facebook and Instagram. Right?
Yeah.
That's
It's
much
not
better.
It's not those type. But we are seeing a change in landscape for TikTok because of this.
Yeah, okay. I think it's just to making sure that people can use TikTok and help the e-commerce business,
Yeah.
especially because it's China.
Yeah.
Heavily usage.
It's a very big thing. Yeah, e-commerce is a very big thing.
Yeah, 748 billion.
Exactly.
Right, next up.
Next up, Google Maps adds social element. Since 2015, Google has had the local guides program that allows anyone to contribute to Google Maps. They can add images or videos, comment, and rate places they visited. Google has recently announced that they will add the ability to follow these local guides. New features include a profile of the local guide that includes a bio, their level. They have like different levels. The more you contribute, the higher level you get, and their contributions. When a user follows that guide, their recommendations will show when you are using Google Maps. Pilot testing is now being done in Bangkok, Delhi, London, Mexico City, New York, Osaka, San Francisco, Sao Paulo, and Tokyo. If all goes well, they will continue expanding more into other cities as well.
Okay.
I have been a Google local guide
fans.
for a long time because and what I do is whenever I go into a place, they will push me a card and suggest that if I were to take a photo and put it up there, and the more people see your photo, the more likes you get, and the more
You push up.
consider a contribution. And then you will be invited to rate the restaurants that you've been to, give a rating, or answer simple questions like, is it kid friendly? Do they serve vegan food? This kind of stuff. So the more you contribute, the higher level you get. And what Google Maps is doing now, which is pretty interesting, is that they're turning into a little bit like a Yelp, where they are using these local guides and turning them into influencers per se.
Okay. To help out.
To help, yeah. So they are kind of like gamifying it and turning it into like a social media thing rather than just
Google social media.
Google Maps social media thing. Then you'll be like, for example, in the future, you let's say follow a few food bloggers, let's say, right, who are also local guides. And when you go to a certain place, and then when you reach there, the Google Maps will pop out and say that the blogger that you follow, let's say JK recommends this place,
Okay.
or JK gives this place 2 stars.
Understand.
And because you believe in what I believe in what JK says in his blogs, I think as long as he say 2 stars, then I won't eat it. So I will go elsewhere.
So it's like personalizing thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's like, so probably they'll be called Googlers.
Googlers.
Googlers. TikTok. Okay, next up, TikTok explores music streams. While Instagram is trying to become more like TikTok, TikTok is looking to be Spotify. The company is reportedly in talks with big music labels, Universal, Sony, and Warner for global licensing deals to include their songs on its new music subscription services. This will happen as soon as next month. There hasn't been a name yet, but reports are expecting it to cost less than Spotify, Apple, and other major American competitors. Yay! Cheaper.
TikTok is bringing music streaming service. So what do you think about this? There is a Chinese one already, right, called Joox. Is it?
No, I don't know about the Chinese one.
I think it's a Chinese company, Joox or something. I don't remember. But
Okay.
But yeah, so it's you know what would be interesting if they call this new app Musical.ly.
Oh my god. Completely just buy over.
Yeah, exactly. It's like TikTok buys over Musical.ly, absorbs Musical.ly, dissolves the name, and TikTok opens up a streaming music
called Musical.ly.
Boom. So mind blown. But yes, if it's less than Spotify, we are paying like 15 ringgit per month on Spotify right now.
I don't know. I'm leeching on Andrew. I love you, Andrew.
So I'm paying 15 ringgit on Spotify right now.
A month.
15 ringgit a month.
Okay.
Yes. So if it comes down to, let's say, 10 ringgit a month or 8 ringgit a month, let's say, the only thing I would be missing is all the playlists that I've created on Spotify.
And you had to recreate it.
Which is a big waste, right? But imagine if this new TikTok streaming let's call it Musical.ly, just for the sake of it. If Musical.ly says we can import all your Spotify playlists,
the name and then
everything is in there. I can import everything in.
Okay.
And you don't have to. It's like a one-click import kind of thing. I'll be like, take my money.
I doubt they will lah. Spotify will like, hey, here's another contract, better for you.
Yeah.
Because it's a competitor.
Yes. Maybe Spotify will come up with like an Asian pricing service, or maybe they will like because like Spotify's pricing is very discriminatory, which means that
really?
different countries will have different pricing.
Okay.
For example, Spotify charge up to $10 in the US and Canada, but it charges us 15 ringgit. 15 ringgit is like what? $3 per month. So it's different. It's actually different based on different regions.
Is it because based on the size of people population, that's why they?
No, actually, it's not that. It's that they practice a pricing where it's a pricing based on how much money we make and percentage of our income.
The currency,
Yeah.
the affordable.
Yes.
They're studying the affordability of
Yes.
each thing.
Like for example, it's kind of like same as McDonald's Big Mac pricing
good.
strategy.
Yeah.
So a Big Mac will cost, let's say, the same in the currency value in every single country. So for example, if it's 10 ringgit here, it will be 10 ringgit equivalent in Japan, which is probably like a few thousand yen, let's
They
say.
standardize it.
They will standardize.
Okay.
So it's based on the value and not the exact conversion.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. So, but one thing also, will they have podcasts as well or no?
I hope they do.
Because it's written here. It's only song services though.
Yeah. They will. I guess they will start with songs first.
Okay. Then slowly
And
podcast.
if for example TikTok is they want to focus on Asian markets, then I don't think they will put a lot of emphasis on podcast, because podcast is not a Chinese thing. It's not an Asian thing. It would be a Western thing, more like a Western
Not
thing.
Asian enough.
Well, we are
We're not very Asian.
We listen to a lot of podcasts, so
Yes.
so we are more of a.
Westernized.
I would probably stay with Spotify, but I don't use Spotify for my podcast. I use Anchor. I use Stitcher for my podcast.
All right.
And, yeah. All right, so that's all for Social Media Weekly this week. Social Media Weekly podcast is available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube, and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. This is Social Media Weekly, episode 19, November 2019. My name is Sean.
And I'm JK.
Au revoir.
And around.